For the very first time, I'm going to talk openly about my economic visions, and BOSF kind enough to provide the platform. Very unnatural for me to say a little bit of my background. I study accounting at the Wichita State University based on a scholarship. I picked accounting because I like numbers. I really, really like numbers. So when I was in high school, one of my favorite things to do is to read the financial statements that is published in local newspapers. Back then, Business Indonesia or Kompas at the time. When I morphed from accounting to finance, my professional experience have been about numbers. So this is what I would call collecting, analyzing, interpreting relevant data, because from numbers you could see what stories unfold. And the storytelling is that most of my careers, from professionals all the way to entrepreneurs, I focus on numbers. And I want to see numbers before even to evaluate businesses. That's basically my MO, my modus operandi. And it's all evidence-based, and it's all data-driven when I make decisions. I always want to see the data. But now, my road to public service, because we're talking about public policy, is sort of like quite a long story. First, in 97, 98, I got fired from my job. Yes, I experienced being fired from my job. It was a monetary crisis. But then maybe it is God's way in making me an entrepreneur. So I started a financial consulting firm, just from 3 people. And I started becoming an entrepreneur. I provide mainly financial analysis and number-driven financial advices to clients, restructuring their books, restructuring their finance post of the monetary crisis. And it taught me spirit, value, and culture. The spirit of working hard, the value of adding something that you see, and the culture of working together. This is what I would probably brought in terms of the 3 credos that I've been pushing, which is innovations, adaptations, and collaborations. This is what I brought from my entrepreneurial background. So the transformations from entrepreneur and politicians actually came through a process that I would call evidence-based and data-driven. I want to find out during the elections of 2017, Jakarta, what Jakartans really would like to see from their next leaders. So it boils down to numbers. And I visited constituents. I have the numbers behind from surveys and from research. And what I have found directly based on data that I collected are the true voices of the people. What they are telling me and their aspirations have been about 2 things, which are internal survey is about jobs from 2016 to 2019, and it's about prices the last 3 years. People are constantly having their top of mind, would I be able to get good quality jobs? Would I be able to have income from my jobs? They don't want handouts, they want to work. But would they be able to get good quality jobs? Second, prices, and increasingly the last 3 years. And this is my economic visions for 2023 and beyond, that yes, we are facing issues of how we reach in 2045 what we call Golden Indonesia, Indonesia Emas, Indonesia Maju, which basically we need building infrastructures, industrializations and productivity, and also things about institutional building, in particular government. I want to focus on two issues. First, entrepreneurship and micro, small, medium enterprises. Second is what I alluded earlier, innovations, adaptations, and collaborations. So, entrepreneurship, it lies on every single one of us. We have that entrepreneurial spirits. And when I go to the constituents, meeting the people, in particular the micro, small, medium enterprises, here we call it UMKM. OKOC is one of the ideas that we developed with Pa Iim. It's about creating good quality jobs. Why UMKM? Because 97% of the jobs are created by SMEs. So my case study on this OKOC that becomes Jackpreneur and now it's nationwide, an idea can really move. Now that this One Kecamatan, One Center for Entrepreneurship program, as of October 2023, the numbers is staggering. 1.6 million jobs created. And this is something that we do outside the government. So if you look at the tourism sectors, for instance, when we are in the middle of pandemic, millions of jobs were lost. A lot of anxieties. I was appointed minister with 0 tourists. So we focus on, during this difficult time, is how do we bring back jobs that were lost? How we see that domestic travel that is basically non-existent, international travel that is not present, how do we bring back all this tourism revenue during this difficult time during COVID? So you need to transform the industries. And one of the transformations and the progress that we're doing is the initiative that focuses on how the ecosystem is created. Collectively, tourism and creative economy create 45 million new jobs. And these are the livelihood. People depend on tourism and creative economy. So this is the numbers that we're seeing, how the numbers continue to slip. But then I found an idea on tourism village. It's just by sheer coincidence that tourism village show a rise in terms of how people doing their healing, vacationing during COVID time. So tourism sectors, through innovations, adaptations, and collaborations, build this Desa Wisata, we call it, tourism village. And these initiatives were able to create good quality jobs, was able, with very small interventions from government's budget, we were able to energize everybody using this concept of community-based tourism. And next year, we're trying to aim the magic number of 6,000 tourism village. Now, second phase, we handle the jobs issue. The second phase is prices. People complaining. And I kept on asking, especially we call it emak-emak, ibu-ibu. Bu, harga-harga gimana? Turun atau naik? Naik atau naik banget? That's always been the response, that prices are becoming a burden to families. So how do we deal prices of foods in particular? So we have this program when I was in Jakarta called Kegerus. Ke, keroyok, ge, gerilya, us, urai satu-satu. Okay, what are your daily bills? Now you basically use every single forces that you have within the government, like the local state-owned companies, Ministry of Agriculture. We brought in BI, Central Bank, A lot of people ask, why Vice Governor deal with central bank? I said, it's very important because inflation is being taken care by central banks. So we brought them in, and they were surprised when we invited them to the governor's office. We brought in OJK for the data and BPS for the statistics. And this method of kroyok, everybody's in, then you have ideas and how you tackle food prices. And that's how we handle inflations, bringing everybody together. And now the same model is being done at the national level. And that's why when food prices in UK is 9-10%, in the US is high, Indonesia has been able to handle its inflations. So our focus for 2045 is to escape the middle income trap, correct? And what is a middle income trap? Middle income trap is basically a trap where a country cannot escape from developing countries and cannot graduate into developed countries. Many countries are continued to be developing countries for 50, 70 years. Name few. Argentina, they were top 5 biggest economy of the world. Right now, they're even lower than Indonesia. We're number 16. But there are also good examples. Countries like South Korea, Japan, and few other countries that have been able to escape the middle income trap and become developed countries. How they do it? And my team and I have been looking that we need to focus on these 2 key areas, jobs and prices. First, investment in human resources. This is what George is doing. That's key for us to get and escape middle income trap. Invest in education. Secondly, jobs and prices linked to future objectives, whereby you need to also build infrastructures. Now, how do you build infrastructures with limited government money? It's the very concept of public, private, people partnership. So, one area that also is in need is industrializations. The government now is focusing on, we call it hilirisasi, but it's actually downstreaming of the economy. The 2045 Golden Indonesia will be achieved if we focus on providing jobs and making sure prices are affordable. We get the Golden Indonesia era if we're able to continue to build our infrastructures, able to connect these 17,000 islands, if we continue to invest in human capital by education and providing good healthcare, and by strengthening our institutional capacity. So this is where 2045 is look like, where are we going to be able to grow more than 6% a year? Because that's the prerequisite, 6% a year. Now we're at 5%. And the answer is yes. If we focus on 2 things, sustainability, green economy, and also we believe that we would be able to escape the middle income trap by getting our economy more efficient, by investing in our people, and by making sure that they have good quality jobs once they graduate. Where small, medium enterprises, UMKM, have the ability to produce products by us going into the small, medium enterprises so that they could improve their productivity, and Indonesia truly will become not only one of the largest country in terms of populations, but the 5th largest economy of the world. Together, we can make this vision a reality. And I thank you very much.